Well, we went from Talladega, Milty, big and fast, to Little Martinsville, 5.526 around. The paperclip, Milty. Big challenge tonight.
Yes, sir. Welcome, race fans. It's Pro Cup Wednesday night, and it's Martinsville, the paperclip.
This is the Nextel version, Milty, which, of course, was the sponsor for a very short time before Nextel actually got sucked up by Sprint and became the Sprint Cup Series. So this is not the track that we've run last season. So kind of a new track, and in my opinion, a little more difficult uh, than the previous
Just
newer
like I told
track.
these boys in the
So
meeting, we don't need anything
a
over the
little
top
more
today. We got a
challenge
good
here,
race car, we
Milty.
got a good driver, we got a good pit
Safer
crew.
barriers
All we
kind
got to do
of
is
make
everybody
the
carry the weight.
place even
We'll be just
smaller,
fine at the end of this thing.
and
10-4.
200 laps.
Sail, bud.
Lot of braking, a lot of slowing that car down. You know what they say, you got to brake 1,000 times in a real race. So a lot of braking going down.
Yeah, we were really dialed in. Got a nice second place behind Robert Bokum, and he had some damage and had a shot at him actually. Great battle with the 71 of Jim Talbert, on and on, and um, the setup is different, so had to do some work, but I think we got it just about a little on the tight side, like we like it, and try to survive. Obviously Robert Bokum's the odds-on favorite, and Sam on pole there can do well if he can stay out of trouble for sure, as
Absolutely.
we need to do also.
As we get the command to start engines, and they'll go around just one time. It's very quick around here, 20-second laps. Things, it's why it's short and not fast top speed wise. Things happen here very quickly. And when there's a wreck, the track can get immediately blocked. So lots of concentration needed to get around Martinsville proper. And with 200 laps, lots of opportunities to lose that focus just for a bit.
Ken Ron is going to be a factor also if he stays healthy. Small field, so
Smallfield and Nicole back in the fold after having a few off weeks. We're under green. Robert Bokum a little loose to start the
blew
race.
third gear right off the start. Fourth gear's got the same um, ratio, but it's a little bit shorter. But hopefully we don't lose another gear.
So Milty right off the bat has
Ground that sucker.
already a possible distraction with 199 more laps to go. But fourth gear and third gear can get you around the track. Third gear a little, maybe just a tick shorter, I think, Milty, than fourth,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
definitely.
Yeah, not much though. So you can run both. Getting up to speed, going from second to fourth, not an issue really here at Martinsville. And FSB rules, of course, help out just a bit there with the no passing to the backstretch. Sam's our leader, Robert Bokum second. Milty starting third, in third. Ken Ron starting fourth, in fourth. Nice and easy. Looks like everyone's getting the tires up to speed. Mark DeSenza a little loose toward the back of the field here. Guy Petra right behind Ken Ron. Pops, Nicole, Mark DeSenza. And then Boss Man and the 83 look like Steve Weber a little out of shape there. Uh, Jim Ray giving plenty of room as the Boss Man's known for, Milty. Car control and Jim Ray go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. As we watched him win a Cadillac race last night on iRacing, can drive just about anything.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun helping him out there. Uh, and man, he cut a 9-second deficit with just lap after lap of quality times, and very impressive run there. And he's in the chase, so not a surprise. And I think this is an opportunity for him with the short field, Milty, to get maybe into the top five and get some points.
Looks like something happened to Ken Ron there. He went backwards.
Yeah, we do see if we can find Ken Ron. There he is. Let's take a quick look here if we can see what happened to Ken. And Guy Petra got a little loose, and then we're looking at the replay right now, and some cars getting a little loose off the turns, Milty, getting on the gas just a tick too early, and Ken Ron came around and got into the inside wall just briefly. Doesn't look like there's any damage, but lost a ton of track position, Milty.
Really easy to get the right rear angry.
Yeah, it looked like a little car over-rotated about center of the turn, and of course that inside curbing there and wall is very close to where you're driving, so not a lot of margin for error in the turn. But right now, top three, there we see Miltman or Budweiser extends. Looking good so far, right behind Robert Bokum, right behind Sam Young, our leader. 1, 2, 3. We see two Team FSB at the front, and that could be a slight advantage. Robert Bokum, the meat in the sandwich right now. But when you're Robert Bokum, that's not really an issue. Sometimes, especially, I'm speaking from my own experience, when I have cars that I know are good in front and behind me, I tend to get a little sweaty, a little nervous, Milty. But Robert Bokum, I don't think so.
Well, he wants by, and I think he's faster than me and Sam, but it's awful hard to pass here.
It is difficult when you run your line here, Milty. Really one preferred line at Martinsville. There is no other lines. You want to take that right up against the wall in the straightaways, and then you want to keep that left side tires right outside the curbing. Let the car rotate around and then get back on that gas hard. Drag strip. What is it? 2 drag strips and a couple turns.
Yep.
Also a rhythm track, Milty. You get into that zone and you can start clicking off laps, and before you realize it, you've done 20 laps and it feels like you've only done 2 or 3.
It's really to get in and really easy to get in and out of rhythm. The hard part is getting back into it again, especially as the tires and the car changes.
Yeah, we're riding now with you, Milty, as you look on at Robert and Sam, and you can see Robert really getting onto the back bumper of Sam and coming in high and kind of sweeping down low on the exits, Milty. A little different line than the one you're taking.
Yeah, and that's the line that you probably need to take, but we're just not. We start to get loose up there with our car, so we have to kind of run a little straighter line in and try to brake a little harder and then roll.
Yeah, and we can listen to that motor. Hard on the gas down the straightaways, hard on the brakes, and then the roll through the corner right there. And then back onto that gas, and not too soon, or that car will get happy right there.
Yeah, you can't just get on it. Got to really, especially coming out of 4, a little wider angle coming out of 2.
Yeah, talk to us about the turns, Milty. To the naked eye, they look identical.
But they're not. 1 and 2 are much wider, and 3 and 4. It's not so much visually. It's a different corner speed by just a mile an hour or 2.
And that's easy to forget. And I know I've struggled in 3 and 4, Milty, as do most rookie drivers here at Martinsville. 1 and 2 seems, like you said, to be a little more friendly. But 3 and 4, when you drive it as if it's 1 and 2, you tend to get very loose or push the car up into the center of the corner. So we see 1, 2, 3 and big gap back to fourth place. Guy Petra, which is about a 6 seconds clear of the field. So Robert Bokum, Sam Young, and Milt Mintner really showing their early speed and consistency. Guy Petra, of course, got really loose and lost some positions, but he's gathered it back in, and as you can see here, he's got very clear track ahead of him and a lot of angry cars behind him, and right behind him is the 5 car of Nicole Johnson and followed teammate Mark DeSenza. And I think Nicole is very good here, Milty. She's fast, and if she can get to the front and maybe get a caution to gather back up time, she could be a factor.
He's struggling with a hand injury, and this is like the worst track for something like that.
Yeah, it is a demanding track. So riding with Guy Petra, looking back at Nicole there, filling up the mirror. Nicole taking a look low. Guy a little high in the turn. That's going to leave that window cracked open just a bit. But again, very difficult to pass here. And Guy running that low line, forcing Nicole to either get a better run down the straightaway or try an outside move, Milty. And outside moves at Martinsville can be dicey. Right
Just
now,
not enough grip out there.
And you can see Guy up a little high again in 1 and 2.
Yellow's out.
And we have a caution out now, so let's widen out our camera.
Oh, we got cars around on the front straight. Weber.
And we'll take a look here as they slow down. Caution at lap 27.
Sam needs to stop there. There he goes.
And taking a look here at Webb.
Boy, Robert, late entry there. The toughest pit road in racing just about is this one right here.
Yeah, that. And you can
Cannot see out of the cockpit.
What Webb just a little strong coming out of the turn, a little too much gas. Car came around and fairly hard into the inside wall. We'll see if there's any real damage. Remains to be seen, but yeah, that was just a case of getting on the gas just a bit too soon, Milty, which is very easy to do here. And let's go back to our leaders, and let's back it up and we'll watch the pit stops here. You see the 98 to 18, nose to tail, 0 car following them in. That turn, pitting in the turn can be very difficult. And you can see they get into the pits a little awkwardly. Up in the helicopter view, you can see the 0, 18, 98. Sam Young with a great pit stop. In fact, that must have been a 2-tire stop for Sam. 18 and 0, both with 4 tires and fuel. And come out the same way they came in. But it looked like Sammy took 2 tires there, Milty, which... again, I would have to say almost an unnecessary move, but we'll see what it does for him. His car's been good all night, so far be it for me to say it's not going to work for him.
We're having some clutch problems tonight in the 0 car. Didn't seem to find our clutch button. I don't think clutching is going to be an issue as far as saving fuel. I think we'll be okay, but we've lost our clutch button and 3rd gear already. We've got to remember, I shift direct, so I should be able to go straight to 4th gear and not lose any time.
Right, absolutely. And again, at this track, going from 2nd to 4th.
A little love tap from Nicole there. She wants a little TV time.
Yeah, she might be watching the broadcast, and she's been missing in action for doing various things, I believe, and so it's good to see her back in the car, and this is what she needed. And looking at the running order, I see that the 96 car is in the lead, Milty. And we got a host of team.
It should recirculate. As,
Will Jim Ray now duck in after getting a bonus point? And as you know, Milty, when you're running for points, bonus points are precious. So Team FSB, Sam Young led laps, and Jim Ray has led laps. Now will it be the Zero car's turn? We saw you right there with the leaders, Milty. How did the car feel? You got about 27 laps, so that's a pretty good sample for you.
Yeah, it's not bad for my skill level.
Sounds like you're trying to sell yourself a little short here, Milty.
Well, when you're up against the 18, you got to work at it. We're going to give it our best shot.
So let's take a look at our at lap 32 running order. Sam Young, who's led from the pole, is reassuming the lead under caution. 18th car. Robert Bokum, second. Milt Minner, third. Green flag. Nicole, fourth. Mark DeSenza, fifth. So Team FSB, Team Bokum taking all 5 positions. And see some good team racing here all season long. Mark DeSenza a little loose. Milty looked like you got off to a very good start there. A little pressure on the 18, but now backing off. And I think Robert is going to try to get around the 98. Maybe make a little more effort than he did, although he gets really very high there.
Yeah, he almost ran the back of him, I think.
Yeah, I think he went in higher than even he would like to do. And yeah, that almost stacked up the field there. You can see it's brought Nicole and Mark DeSenza right back into the fray. So 5 cars now have separated. Early on, went back green, lap 33. Everyone in for tires and fuel. Of course, Sam, 2 tires. Everyone else 4 tires. So
oh boy,
Robert
almost
Bokum,
had him.
Robert Bokum again, now making a move to the outside of Sam, and we'll see how this works out. Sam taking a low line here, very defensive line by Sam. Robert to the high side, Milty into the inside. Got to pinch the car just a bit there, and that can cost you speed on down the straightaway here at Martinsville. But it's the price you pay for trying to have to pass down to the inside. Got to kind of pull the car down lower than you like.
Just can't get any momentum coming off there.
Yeah, and everything.
But I got him forced outside.
Yes, and we saw a little racing at the front. Robert Bokum again is taking an outside angle entering, and then kind of diving the car down, and he gets a little loose, it looks like there. Or maybe trying to make Sam a little dummy on Sam there, maybe. But it's cost him the inside line again. But again, very difficult to get the speed up from that inside position.
Oh, Sam got loose.
There's some hard racing going on here, but just lap 40 of 200. Robert Bokum very much wants this lead, and he's diving it in deep into the corner on the high side, getting really good runs off, though. You can see he really hung the car out there and taking a very wide line in here at Martinsville, which is not a line you usually see here. But side-by-side battle for the lead. Sam, a little push there, and I think Robert had to give ground just a bit there. and it was enough for Sam to hold on to the lead. Again, an
I think
inside
you're a little
run.
behind there from what we're doing.
Okay, let's check this out. Let me get up. Okay, yeah, that was maybe a half a lap behind. So we're all good here. Swapping second and third. So now Bochum is now lined up though, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 with Ken Ron joining the party. So a lot more cars coming along on this second run. And now being in second place, Milty, what's the strategy?
Just try to stay smooth and don't try to do anything different than I have been doing and overdrive a corner, and because all it takes is one corner to get that right rear angry and you can't put the power down.
Yeah, and you have to think, Milty, that cautions are going to be few and far between.
Well, I know Rick Johnson always likes fourth gear here, and most of the drivers use third, even though it's the same ratio. It's a different spline on the rear end. It seems to give you a little more oomph out of the corners, but also a little more wheel spin, and car seems pretty good, but still think these guys have the legs on me, but
Yeah,
just try to be consistent here.
see Sammy with about a 0.7 of a second lead at the line. And hanging it out though, getting a little loose, and that's, like you said, it's going to make that right rear tire a little unhappy every time you get that car hung out like that. And smooth is going to be faster for a full run.
Well, I like the brake bias better on this setup than the Sportsman. I've been able to drive it in a little bit harder without locking up the fronts.
Yeah, and again, a fast lap at Martinsville. Some will say slow in, fast off. But at Martinsville, sometimes you can run it in deep, Milty. Get on the brake hard when you know it won't lock up, as you're saying, and then get right back on the gas. And sometimes that is the faster way around. We see Mark DeSenza spinning
Yellow's
into the
out.
inside wall, and that will bring the caution out. Right at the start-finish line, he has not... we're going back to the lead here. Don't believe the leaders have taken the caution yet.
No. And now we have.
And now you have. And 1, 2, 3, 4 across the line. Mark DeSenza got loose, and almost the kind of the same as with Weber.
Man, I'm having keyboard problems. I've got no keyboard and no mouse. That's why I can't change off the F2 screen, so I'm not going to be able to look at my fuel unless I try to do it under caution here. But I may lose some time here. This is going to be difficult.
So some issues with the zero car transmission. Gearing problem right out at the start.
My
now,
keyboard is inoperative, so I can't change from F2 to
now
fuel.
Some more technical issues hampering the zero car, not affecting the running of the car though. Solidly in second place on that run.
We disconnected the keyboard and see if we recalibrate here.
You see the
and don't lose our steering wheel. And we have we have no keyboard control. We're gonna try that again while we're driving, see what happens. Oh, and we froze for a sec. This could be very dangerous. As I'm trying to plug it back in, I can't find the hole. There we go. My steering wheel, I don't know if it lost calibration, but... And we still have no keyboard control, so we're gonna have to let that go.
Yeah, that might be something that won't come back until you're out of the game. and then back in.
So we can't check fuel or tires. We're stuck on the F2 screen, which is the best screen to be on if you're going to get stuck on something.
True. Well, we're at lap 54.
As long as the
Obviously,
steering wheel don't go out, we're okay.
obviously you can do about 80 to 90 laps, I think, on a full tank. The question is, can you make tires last that long, or will a caution come out? Of course.
That's 2 tires for Bochum, by the way. Did you notice that?
No, we did not notice that, but Robert Bochum did get the lead
He
with
was
that 2
tired of
tires.
following us.
So Sam came in, did take 2, now took 4. Robert Bochum came in at first, took 4, now took 2. So they swapped positions.
Now, he told me
I think
Monday
4
night.
tires is the way to go every time.
Well, he told me Monday night with the Sportsman setup that if you get two right sides, you get about 15 to 20 laps that are actually faster or as fast as a 4-tire change, because you got tire temperature on that inside tire already. So that was definitely a move he made at the end of the race.
Yeah,
Monday night.
Of
course, he was the car to beat anyway, but
I definitely would support an end of the race move. I think I think he just was frustrated. I think he wanted the lead, and I think he fell back behind you, and he doesn't want to be behind people right now. I think he thinks he has a car that can maybe.
Well, he probably does too.
And this is now his opportunity. So we'll see.
Long way to go.
Of course, 2 tires, field basically 4 tires, and that will play a role eventually. Green flag is out. So running order now is 18.98.0. 5 of Nicole Johnson right there in 4th. Kenron 5th. Hobson 6th. Sam gets a little loose there, almost into the wall. He saved it. Team FSB.
Well, I took him out in the super speedway race Tuesday, my own teammate. Bumped him going into pit road and gave him a speeding ticket. So that is the last thing we want to do tonight. But we want to run this race too, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's always a fine line to walk as teammates when you're both up at the front and you both have cars capable of winning. You obviously want to be good teammates first and racers second, but there comes a point where someone needs to win a race. So always a difficult situation. You hope that the cars decide it, because one car is going to be clearly better than the other and makes it easy. But when they're even, it's got to be tough racing. But Bochum Motorsports, of course, very familiar with that. Mark DeSenza, Robert Bochum had battled many a time, Milty, for those wins. A little look inside. Let's see if Sam cedes the position. No.
Little contact there.
Yeah, a little.
Just a little rub.
A little there. Thought maybe at first Sam was going to give up that position, but looked like he had second thoughts on it. And Nicole, I think, thought that too. A little pile up briefly, but everyone seems to be okay. No harm, no foul. Robert Bochum now up to 1.3 seconds, which is, as we said, I really think he wanted to do this as fast as he could, because I think he really feels he has a car that can drive away.
Yeah, he's the class of the field.
This field, especially with a small field, lap traffic will be very small factor here. Where if this was a 25 car field, let's say, Milty, and you're a fast leader, sometimes that lap traffic can be a great equalizer. Everyone holding their positions at the front. Top 5 unchanged since the restart. Pops in 6th. Guy Petra 7th. Martinsville 8th. Then we got Webb and Bossman. Webb, of course, 1 lap down, so Jim Ray showing in 9th. Webb in 10th. Back to our leader, Robert Bokum. Nice and smooth going down the front straight. And we've been about 12 laps into this run now. Everything seems to be single file for the most part. Take a little wider view of Martinsville Speedway. You can see it's not very big. It's not a half mile though. It's a little more than a half mile, so it is very unique, very storied history here at Martinsville. And of course, the winner tonight, Milty, not only gets, the satisfaction of winning a Martinsville race, but they get a grandfather clock. That's pretty cool.
Really?
Yes, we have a FSB Racing clock manufacturer, and the winner of this race will be getting a grandfather
The
clock.
cyber clock.
Yeah, so it'll be a virtual grandfather clock. But hey, when you're up in the big boys division, Milty, that's what you race for, right? You race for those.
Heck yeah.
You race for that hardware. You got some hardware on the wall there, don't you?
Yeah, a few.
That's right. And I know one person who wants some hardware from this particular series. That's the 18 car. He was chomping at the bit last season, came up short. I think this season he said he ain't going to leave nothing to chance.
You'll have to see if spring 2015, if Matt Watkins returns to full-time cup racing.
Yeah, and Milty, not to distract you from your driving, but looking at the next crop of potential pros for next season, I think it might be a very exciting season.
Yeah, and pros are voted in by the admins and the pro drivers, so, and they will be in the off season making requests to move up.
Yeah, I think there's a good crop of sportsman drivers right now that are quality drivers, fast, smart, and I think many of them are ready to step up to the ultimate step on the ladder here at FSB, and that's Pro Cup, Pro Truck, and that's racing the best of the best. And we see that Sam now has pulled away slightly, trying to match the distance between him and Robert Bokum. A little more distance between him and Robert Bokum than Milty. But Nicole hasn't left your back bumper, but not really any movement to make any moves as well. She seems content to log the laps, Milty.
Gotta manage those rear tires.
Yeah, and we're about...
Yellow's out.
Oh, we got a caution out. We see Guy Petra is around. He gets going. Will not go a lap down.
So what lap are we on? I can't tell.
We're on lap 78, so that was about a 20 plus 22 lap run. You see Guy back up to speed, so taking a look back here.
Probably going to be some cars trying to do some two-tire hanky-panky.
And we see Guy got a little loose getting into the turn and hit the curbing slightly, but gathered it back in.
We're going to go with 4. Too early for 2.
Yeah, I agree with that decision. And yeah, just a little hot into the turn, and then when he got back
Nicole
on the
took
gas, got a little wide there, and
might have took 4. Really, one thing the Volcom drivers do very well is run right up at the speed limit, and they get up underneath you while you're on pit road. And it's definitely distracting trying to get to your pit stall. And it's totally legal. It's just what one of the things they do that they don't miss much the chance. I was running about 34 there. She was right at 35. Of course, every now and then that'll give you a get to 36, you get a black flag.
That's right. So it's a risk-reward move, and
that was a good job. But she probably got 4 too, because she came out right behind me there. Yep. She might be sandbagging a little bit, you know. Or it's been she has taken some time off, and her hand has been damaged.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's getting back into flow again, and running a great race so far. Milty, very conservative for what we know she likes to run. She likes to run up front, likes to be on the pole and lead a lot of laps, and so showing some patience here, getting and of course it is a 200 lap race, Milty. We're on lap 81, so not quite to the halfway point. '18 and '98 have been 1-2 all night long, almost all night long.
The question is, can she show some patience here again? But she can also help her teammate by bothering the 98 too, and trying to make a pass there. As it kind of me racing for second kind of upset both of our chances to stay up with Robert. That's how easy and quick you can do it. But
absolutely.
Early in the race, you want to race a little bit, and later too.
Absolutely, and side-by-side racing at Martinsville. When you make that decision to make that pass, you really hope you can stick it on that first attempt. If you get side by side and can't complete it, usually leads to you losing ground, and of course the leaders pulling away from you at the same time. Yeah, we'll see how Nicole up into the 3rd position, or best position of the night so far. She was kind of riding right behind you that last run, Milty. Seemed pretty, like I said, seemed content to log some laps and not make any, push of a situation. Now she's up to 3rd, and like you said, Sam's
She
in
may have
front
been
of her.
sandbagging a little bit too.
Yeah, and maybe she was just, holding a little back. But with Sam in front of her, I think she would very much like to get in front of Sam and then get that Bochum 1-2 going. Green flag's out. Sam with a hard on the gas, almost into the back of Robert Bochum to start the restart there. No passing to the backstretch as they get onto it right now.
They're a little behind again.
This thing keeps bouncing off the live picture. Okay, we're back up. So So we'll see how Robert handles this next stint here. He was able to pull away, but not. It looked like he got to a point, and then it kind of stabilized. And we'll see if he is able to pull away again, or if the pressure.
This is a much faster pace than we were running earlier.
Yeah. And as this racing heats up, let's ride with the zero car and watch that view out the front windshield. It's a good view of everyone that's means something in this race right now. You got leader Robert Bokum, Sam right there, Nicole right behind him. Looking at lap times, just a 1/10 of a second right now off your fastest lap. Milty, why you feel that urge to race, like you said, you also have to be mindful of these rear tires, just in case there's no caution and you have to do 80 laps. You don't want to burn them up in the first 20.
Yeah, making sure you hit your braking points too. You really have to look for a mistake and not make one yourself. Oh, Sam!
Sam off the curbing. I'll stack up the field slightly. You can see what that's done to the 5th place car of Ken Ron there. Really gained ground as Nicole and Milty had to get off the gas a little longer than they wanted to. And Sam getting a little loose again, and really pushing hard. Number 1 to stay ahead of the 5 car. Number 2, I think he really wants to catch Robert Bokum if he can. But tall order.
They are the studs in the Sunday night late model series short track. No surprise they're up front.
Now riding with Sam, you can see
woo, locked him up a little.
See Sam really hugging that curve, and if you just misjudge that curve just a little and you clip it, it really wants to send you to the outside wall. You gotta be very careful to avoid it. Then again, you don't want to be too wide either, because then you'll push up into the center of the corner, and that's not good either. See Sam getting a little loose there. Nicole coming right up and filling up that mirror. We can see Nicole with a very different technique in 3rd gear, Milty. Accelerating hard, shifting into 4th and then back into 3rd real quickly. Interesting. Sometimes really redlining the car going into the corner. A little loose there. Little loose. Taking a bad angle into the turn, very low. Side by side with the 0. Preferred line is for the 5 car though.
Had a shot at her, but the only place to go was up high, so put me on the outside. She got loose there.
She defended the low line very well. Getting a little loose again there.
A little bit, so.
Yes, it was able to let the leaders pull away slightly. Sam, though, doing a wonderful job staying right in touch with the 18. As I said in that last stint, Robert was able to get out to about a 2-second lead and then maintain about 1.7, 1.8 second lead until that caution came out. This time, much different. Sam right up onto the back bumper and really driving the car in deep, and looks like he's letting it roll, but letting it roll real deep into the turn, and it's really working for him right now. We see the 5 and the 0 battling away.
Boy.
A little inside move there, quickly squashed.
Got her attention.
We see the 18 and 98, so Bochum FSB 1-2 battle, and then Bochum and FSB 3 and 4 battle. So this is a battle of the titans of teams here. The legendary Team FSB, original team, Milty. Of course, Bochum Motorsports, a newly...
Yeah, we're a little long in the tooth, but we still got some skills.
Still got something left for them. Bochum Motorsports, of course, the bulk of the drivers, Milty, were part of Monsoon Motorsports, who, of course, has written their own team history, which is very impressive.
Yeah, and they're not at full strength in this series, so without Matt Watkins, really, Steve Weber and Guy Pitra have come so far.
Oh yeah.
And who knows what happened in the off season.
Yeah, of course. Just like NASCAR, FSB Racing does have their silly season. Newcomers.
When Nicole got loose again there.
Yeah.
She's driving the shit out of that thing.
The newcomers can form their own teams, Milty, can join existing teams. People can swap, leave a team and join another team, or make their own.
Oh, she got loose right in front of me.
Yeah, we see now with about 20 laps into this run now.
Her car seems to start to get tight in the center.
And of course, she's been racing this entire green flag run very hard, and that can heat the tires up here, Milty, to the 230, 240 range. That can be dangerous.
But look at that launch. She gets out of the corner with that line. But that's the risky line right there. As you can see her getting loose every time she comes out. Into the wall there.
Almost a brush with the wall. Onto the curbing, loose, very loose now, up high. And Milty, that could be an opening there. With the momentum, let's see what happens. Now the position is had. So a change of position, 3rd and 4th. Sam continues to dog Robert Bochum. So Sam doing a great job on this run right now, staying up with the champ, and really just kind of shadowing his lap times now.
Yeah, and Monday night, Robert was only touchable because of damage. Now he doesn't have any damage, and it's just showing you what a difference a night makes, and also what Sam's doing there, you know.
That's right, and of course, as you said, Milty, the Sportsman setup is a challenging setup from, of course, the FSB division setups. From Sportsman to Pro, there's still a big jump up in those setups, Milty.
Yeah, this car turns better and is way looser the Sportsman setup, you can almost ease on and press it. This setup, especially coming out of turn 4, you're carrying so much speed through the corner. When you apex through, you got to ease it on.
So the battle may be decided for the moment here
I have
between
no
the 0
idea
and the
where
5.
we're at in fuel, and there's no way I can check because of my frozen keyboard.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. I know we can go probably to about 50 to go.
Yeah.
Because you can go about 60, 70 laps, and we restarted around 70 something. So
yeah, I think the restart was actually like an 82. So about, we'll say, coming up on about 40 laps so far on this run. We're on lap 119 of 200. Looks to be, if it stays green, one more stop for everyone, basically. And you can do, I believe, about 80 plus laps on a fuel run, which is about where we are right now. We're about 81 laps to go. So we could be coming into the fuel window for someone who's willing to gamble. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Go back to the front here. Robert still leading. Sam has fallen off a bit from him. We're looking at a potential car going a lap down. That's the 96 car, Jim Ray. About a half a straightaway ahead of the leader, Robert Bokum. As you said, about maybe halfway through a fuel run right now, Milty. This is when the car will transition as the tires go away, Milty.
yeah, it looks like Nicole has slowed down, saved her tires, and she's starting to make a run at us.
And that's what a good pro does as well, Milty. You can lower those temps, and the tires can come back to life for, a few 3-4 laps where you could run it hard again and get that grip. And a good pro knows how to do that. And that's a learning experience and not easy to do. Robert and Sam now able to get around Jim. So Jim will go a lap down in the 8th position. 7 cars now on the lead lap. And Milty, when you think of a track where, if you just show up for a race, you can do well at, Martinsville probably wouldn't be on the top of your list. This is
not negative.
This is a seat time track, and the boss man has so much going on. It's not like he can log 300-400 laps during the week to warm up. And while we see what he's capable of, this is a tough track for him to really show what he's capable of.
Absolutely, yeah.
But one thing you'll get from him is he runs clean lines, he runs consistent, and he'll be there at the end.
He's a 2-time Cup champion and made the chase, but the chase hasn't gone well for him. Looking for a solid finish here, and then he'll move on to the bigger tracks where he's more effective.
Yeah, absolutely, and we have woohoo, little tail happy.
Just like that, it's that easy.
Yeah, absolutely, Milty.
And the tires are definitely getting tired, but I can't look at them to see, so might be better.
Yeah, it might be better, and generally your pit crew will advise you if they get into a zone where they feel you might need to come in for tires. So I think you'll get a fuel call before you get a tire call, Milty, and that's all that really matters, I think.
Yep. We're obviously going to look and see what the 18 and other competitors are going to do, Sammy. And
Yeah, and we have 70 laps remaining, so definitely inside a fuel window to go the rest of the way right now. Steve Weber getting a little loose right in front of the leaders, but Robert and Sam able to safely get around him, and that could have been a very hairy situation. But safe and sound, everyone is, and we continue on. But the leaders have pullen away by over 6 seconds back to Milty. Of course, a lap here at Martinsville, about 21 seconds. As we look at the running order, we see that Ken Ron, last car in the lead lap, 12 seconds behind. So that's about a little, a little more than half a lap behind.
well, I can't adjust my tires, so I imagine it's stuck on a 4-tire change. So that's definitely, I guess, what we're going to have to do.
And that is a major disadvantage there possibly for you if the caution were to come out in an advantageous position to do that. However, with just 66 laps remaining now, Milty, if you do a full run, you got to get 4 tires, so it kind of takes that decision making out of your hands. See,
Thank you, Jim.
Boss man giving ground for the lead lapper. See if he can tuck in behind his teammate here and log some laps. Of course, the caution would come out, and lap down cars would start at the front of the field, and it is possible to get that lap back here at Martinsville. But we still see Sam continue to hang out that back end. Coming out of 4 there, Sam, very loose, hard on the gas.
He's a wheel man, dude.
Yeah, and I don't think once did he lift his foot off the gas. He just steered that thing right back straight again, Milty, and that's what a driver does. And Sam, man, I'll tell you, he drives on the edge of wrecking better than anyone I know. See Robert Bokum nice and smooth crossing the start finish line. 61 laps now remaining. I would think that when we hit that magic 50, Milty, we might see some pit stops.
Yeah, that'll be about 10 laps to go on fuel, probably.
Yeah, I'd say
96 is entering pit road.
Yeah, I'd say we're about 60 plus laps into the run, so another 10 laps will put you there. We'll see what the leader, Robert Bokum, chooses to do. Of course, he's excellent on pit lane. I would suspect everyone coming in with this long run would have to take 4 tires. So I wouldn't think there would be any different decisions. I can't imagine anyone just taking gas only or two tires at this point. But you know, if with the small field, if you were, let's say, Nicole or Pops, that might be a way that you can make something happen. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't tell how much fuel they're going to put in, so, because it might not be a full tank.
Certainly won't need a full tank with just 50 to go. Of course, as you get closer, Milty, to the end of the race, you take less and less fuel, and that's a faster stop as well.
98 is pitting.
Okay, so our first leader, as indicated, that's the 98 of Sam Young. We'll follow him in. He comes in very fast, hot, locks down, no skidding though, no smoke. Comes around the corner.
Pops is pitting.
35 agonizing miles an hour. You feel like you're going to lose 20 laps here at Martinsville as you crawl down pit lane. We are on lap 146 of 200. Now completing 147. You see Sam is in the pits. Get the view.
And Ron.
And Sam is getting a 4-tire change and fuel. And he's out and away at lap 147. Good stop by Sam.
I think we're going to pit here.
Now we're riding with the 0. You see,
18 is pitting.
our leader is pitting as well. Will Milty pit or will he stay out? Oh, and there's contact with the 99.
Guess I'm not pitting.
And wow. And both cars keep going and looking for damage here. Not seeing any. Looked like a clean door-to-door hit.
Well, second time again, I caught that lap too. I caught a car coming out of pit road.
Yeah.
I thought he would back off, being he was laps down, but he didn't.
And
no,
that
more bad luck.
Yeah, that's part of short track racing. Get in and out of the pits. Even with a small field, it can get trafficy. As we go back on the track now, Nicole is showing as the leader. Mark Descenza second.
Bummer. Can't signal out of the pits either. So
Yeah,
he,
zero car is coming
I don't
out.
think he even saw my pit signal because my keyboard's dead. So that
Yeah.
can't really fault him.
Yeah.
He was
No.
wondering what the hell is he doing.
Yeah, that is a very real possibility. We're lap 152 now. The 5 to 6.
They didn't beat
have
on
not
it, so
pit.
I think the car is good.
Yeah, no visible damage. We go forward, we see the 5 car. She's still out and is the leader of the race. However, the 18 and 98 have gotten around her and have unlapped themselves from their pit stops, and they are pulling away, of course, with the new tires. Of course, a caution were to come out now. Nicole.
Well, I lost a ton of time in the wreck. Then we lost more time because Ken Ron was coming out, and I didn't want to do the same thing I did to Pops. So
now the 6
was
car is
terrible
in.
timing.
Yeah, just unfortunate circumstances there, Milty. As we still see Nicole is now in as well. Okay, so our final 2 cars are in, and we're lap 155, so 45 laps as she crosses the start-finish line. 45 laps remaining. And Mark Descenza leaving the pits. Nicole coming in, so pitting 1 lap beyond Mark Descenza. Tires down. And we see the 0 car taking the start-finish line. As we see Nicole in the pits getting the final tire change done. Coming out. And finally, our cycle is complete. Green flag stops. First of the night. and we have 44 laps remaining, and it's go time.
Well, we didn't lose position. We just lost.
Yeah, we looking at the time here, Milty, you were about 6-7 seconds behind. Now you're about 9.8 at right now. As we come back around, 9.8 seconds behind the leader. So you lost a couple of seconds there, Milty. Not too bad.
Yeah, really. I
And
think a realistic goal was the podium anyway against these drivers. So what we're shooting for.
and in that podium position right now. The 18 and 98, of course, have run hard at each other, and it is possible contact could happen. And right now, they're actually in some traffic, getting around Pops now. Steve Weber right in front of the leaders. Steve goes down low, and now he's diving down into the pits to give him plenty of room. But Sam right on the back bumper of Robert Bokum, and he hasn't left him through that green flag stop. So excellent pit stops by both the 18 and the 98. Sam right on the back bumper. I mean, if there wasn't contact, you could maybe put a piece of paper in between the two cars. So Robert really getting all he can handle here from the 98. Very impressive run by Sam here. Really pressing him hard every lap.
Sam is the kind of driver, once he gets to this point, he's pretty much racing for the win every night. If he doesn't have a car to compete, it's late night where he lives, and he's probably going to park it. But when he's got a car to beat, he's on fire, dude.
Yeah, and he's on fire right now. Just 0.2 of a second off Robert Bokum. 9.6 clear of Milty. So if it stays green, I have to think that it's going to be decided between the 18 and the 98. We'll see if Sam kind of cools his tires and takes another run at him.
Yeah, you always wonder how much Robert's cooling, even in the lead, because
Yeah,
he has that ability to look so fast and still bring a little extra at the end.
Yeah.
But with Sam dogging him, that could change that rhythm, you know.
Yes, it could, and we know very much, Milty, that Robert does study the line of the car that's behind him. And while a lot of times you get advice to not look in your mirror, when you're at Robert Bokum's ability level, the mirror now assists you in maybe either running a different line that might be faster or taking away the line from your opponent, which is just as effective sometimes. See Weber up high. Weber with a tough night since the first incident, and it's been a struggle all since then. But he's
got his
persevered, and he's showing in ninth, so we'll get the top 10, of course, but not the night that he was hoping for. Right now, Robert has pulled out to, like I said, about a 3/10 second lead here. Now up to a half-second lead. Don't know if Sam is taking it easy here with still 32 laps remaining. Continue to see lap traffic now playing a role now for the leaders, and we see heavy. I mean, with just a 10-car field, this is about as heavy traffic as it gets. Ken Ron, Mark DeSenza now in front of Robert Bokum in danger going a lap down, and this is another team situation here. Robert Bokum has to drive the wheels off his car right now, Milton, to stay ahead of Sam. He cannot be Mr. Nice Guy with his teammates here that may be in danger of going a lap down. So a lot of communication must be going on in that Bokum team channel. You see Jim Ray also now in the mix as he goes high. The leaders have got to the back bumper of Ken Ron now. So we'll see how that pass comes out. I have to think Robert's communicating with these guys saying, hey, you know, stay up high, let me just take the line, and you know, I got to do what I got to do here. I'm the leader. And Ken does give the ground, and both Robert and Sam clear Ken Ron. Sam very loose getting into the turn there. And really hanging the car out, coming out. So Sam really pushing the car. Maybe seeing this lap traffic as an opportunity again. But they have cleared.
Yes, definitely.
They have cleared most of it. Now Mark DeSenza still ahead. But Mark still about a half second ahead of the leaders. Both guys doing a great job of negotiating that. Staying in touch with each other, and sometimes one or the other, Milt, you can lose momentum. You can get out of rhythm with a lap car, and you know it can be very distracting as you try to also hold off the guy that you're battling. You can see these leaders are running some pretty good lap times, pulling out to about another second and a half over the zero car in third.
Yeah, and Nicole's catching me a little bit too. Kind of pouring sweat, feet are getting tired,
Yeah,
losing my rhythm a little bit.
we're getting to the twilight of this race though, with 23 laps remaining. Usually get that boost of adrenaline when your spotter tells you 20 to go. Going back up to our leaders, Robert again negotiating lap traffic. Now it is putting Mark DeSenza a lap down. Mark giving both Robert and Sam plenty of room there. Both do get around them, and away they will go to battle them for the win. No one really ahead now, so lap traffic is now no longer a factor in this race. Both negotiated it as good as you can expect. 20 laps to go.
20 to go.
Sam hanging it out again. Little contact with the outside wall as the car got a little loose. Looked like the right rear quarter may have clipped the outside wall. And Ken Ron goes spinning and hard into the inside wall. We may have a caution here.
Caution is out.
And caution is out, and this changes everything with just 19 laps to go. This changes everything. Pit stops now could be a factor. Two-tire change could come into play here. No tires could come into play here, or staying out could come into play here. With such few cars, though, if you're the 0 and the 5, you got to pit here and get freshies. And hope the leaders stay out and get that advantage. Sam in the pits. Robert Bokum stays out. Milty stays out.
Wasn't sure if I could pit that lap by.
Well, Sam is in the pits. Nicole looks to be in the pits as well.
Well, I think we got to stay out then.
So the die is cast for the 0 car, it appears.
And I did figure out what was wrong with my. It wasn't my keyboard. I had a
You had your talk
post
box
out,
open.
and then I pressed enter, and so I can now look at my stuff there, which looks like I don't have much for tires left. So we're gonna have to fight for track position
Well,
here.
with only
and-
4 cars on the lead lap here, Milty, pitting really won't come to too much harm. I would think if you need tires, you should get them. But that's just me. Robert did stay out as well, so. But you also have the 98 and the 5 now with fresh tires right behind you, and we know Sam is going to be rip roaring to get back at that 18 car.
We're staying out. Screw it.
So 0 car making his bed and now having to lie in it. We'll see how that turns out. Of course, the leader doing the same. So equal ground with the leader, but the 98 and 5, Nicole with redemption on her mind now. Sam, of course, pole sitter, led a bunch of laps early on in this race, and Robert Bokum's flipped the script on him with a 2-tire change, and since then he's been in control of this race. Sam has pressured him, but has not been able to get around him. And now we'll see the 0 car taking one more stab here at.
Well, we got 4 when Robert got 2, so those insides of his got to be pretty worn.
And that might play a factor as well. Lights are still on the pace car. 15 laps to go.
With this short of laps, just had to stay out, and we're just gonna have to, you know, stay in the middle of the road and make them go around us or move us, which they might do. This is Martinsville.
Of course, lap traffic with teammates now starting side by side, Milty. One more thing to put into your mind is those inside cars, especially fast one like the 6 car Mark DeSenza. That could play a factor here. Lights out on the pace car. Lap 188, they will start green again. 13 laps to go. 18, 0, 98, 5, our only lead lap cars, and away we go. Jim Ray gets loose immediately on the restart. No damage, everyone gets going, but Jim lost a ton of time there. 0 car up a little high there. 98 trying to take advantage, but does not appear to at the moment. And now up. Oh, maybe a little contact there. And the 5 on the outside, 98 on the inside.
Oh, there was contact, all right.
Everyone keeps it together, staying green. Big advantage for Robert Bokum now, though, with just 12 laps to go. So Sam made that. Sam answered our question very quickly there. Hard down on the inside, maybe onto the.
Well, I couldn't tell.
Maybe
if
onto the
somebody was
crest.
down
I
below
couldn't
me.
tell.
I thought Jim Ray was below me, so I didn't take that low line. Otherwise, I would have crowded him, you know. So
Yeah.
I kind of, if I'd have just stayed down low, he was, you know, trying to give me room to go back down, but it's driver error there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't realize Jim didn't get such a good start.
Jim spun the tires pretty heavily at the start and kind of got sideways. And
Because your spotter don't say nothing until after the first corner, you know, so because they don't tell you there's somebody down low right away.
Sam seems to be reeling in the 18 car here with 8 laps to go. Nicole right there as well. Sam really hanging that car out now for all it's worth. But he has, and he gets extremely loose and he's around. There's contact with the 5 car, contact with the 0 car, slight contact. Caution has to be out here.
Caution is out. I couldn't get it well down there.
Yeah, and Sam, again, just hanging that car out just maybe one too many times. Came around. There was slight contact with the 5 car as well, but really nowhere for Nicole to go as well in that situation. So now
Crazy.
6 laps to go. And there's contact between the 5 and the 99 as they get woed down. I don't think any harm there, but it's possible we could get a 1 lap shootout here at Martinsville.
Well, lappers need to pit this time.
'18 is our leader. 5 of Nicole Johnson second. There's the 0 car. Milty in 3rd. Sam in 4th. Mark DeSenza now getting his lap back is in 5th and possibly a factor again if we can get green.
Oh yeah, there not too much damage for Sam there. Though he spun around, he's still going to have good tires. And I can tell you this time, I'm going to stay low.
Well, with no lappers.
No lappers. Yeah, that was my mistake, because I assumed, which makes an ass out of you and me. And my tires are toast.
We are now watching the pace car very carefully. Lights still on. Lap 197. Lights go out next time around. We will have a green, basically a green and white, and then a checker, which the game will do. Of course, real NASCAR, Milty, you would get that overtime situation where you always get the green, then the white, then the checker. But in this game, you can get a green and white at the same time.
98 going in for tires.
Interesting move by Sam.
Figures might as well if it goes green, but if it doesn't go green, he's going to lose a spot.
We'll watch the pace car. Lights stay on, Milty. I was really thinking the lights were going to go off there. We could now have a possible 1 lap shootout. Thought we might get a 2 lap shootout. Now it looks like possibly 1 lap. Or this race could be over. We'll see.
That's going to give him the best tires out of everybody. He had to flat spot those bad boys going around.
Come back out of turn 4 here and across the line. We'll see what will happen here. Lights are out. 1 lap dash for cash. Really, with FSB rules, Milty, we'll say a half lap dash for cash. But will we see the 5 try to make a move on the 18 car? Of course, teammates. Nicole would love to win this race. She missed one of the chase races. And if she could win here, that could really, maybe not as far as winning the points, but it could go a long way in the standings. So we'll see how this works out. We're riding with Robert Bokum here in the 1. Hard acceleration, Nicole, right up onto the back bumper, but Robert Bokum fires off the corner, man. Wow, that was a good move. Nicole right back there again in the turn, but they come back out. Checker flag is waving. Robert Bokum wins the win.
Good job, Robert. racing there.
And
These people are so good, folks. Let me tell
we'll
you.
take one more look at that last lap here. See
Get a
Nicole.
third place is very satisfying. I get to talk to myself on the podium.
Yes, you do. And we'll watch that last lap again. Nicole did get a pretty good run there. And in looking back at it, and I just had a program crash. Probably because I've been not in the game. That does happen. And we're out.
Well, boy, let me tell you, Robert's burning them off here as I go down pit road, and he should be. That's a well-deserved win. Sam all over his ass the entire race. We all gave him what for. Got to hand it to Robert. He's helped my short track program and a lot of drivers in this league, along with other drivers that have also been in that position.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Milty, I did get booted out of the game there because I was probably inactive for a while, and sometimes the game does that to you.
The
Being that
game
I
is
was,
still showing yellow, which is interesting. I think we need to get back around again. All the drivers have disconnected. This is really strange. But it looks like the positions will stay as is.
so we will.
Because I'm still driving around the track trying to. Because I didn't even notice that. Usually the lights go out as soon as
Yeah, the lights
you make
usually
that
go out.
second lap, and they're not out, which is really strange.
Well, could be a quirk of the track as well.
But it looks like, because we'd hate to see anybody,
Oh, of course.
lose position. Been there, done that, but it looks like everything is in order here. So
So that
time
would mean.
time for a cold Budweiser, the king of beers. My sponsor's very happy, and I'll be right back, Greg.
All right, and good run for Milty there. Uh, Robert Bokum, our winner. Just what can you say? He knows his way around a short track. He looked at times at the beginning of that race. He really appeared he wanted to get around Sam and maybe got a little frustrated. Lost a position to Milty. Fell back to third, but then he did that two-tire change, and once he did that, he really controlled the race to the end there. And even though there's that one-lap shootout, uh, covered the field and brought it home with a big win. Uh, Nicole with a great ride in second, Milty third. Not sure if Sam or Mark finished fourth, but one of the two finished fourth and the other finished fifth, and those were our cars on the lead lap. So we'll look to see an update in the points here.
Woo! Man, I got to towel off after that. That is a workout, folks. Feet hurt, butt hurts,
Yeah,
hands hurt.
that's a grueling test, Milty. 200 laps at Martinsville. That's almost a half distance of what the pros really run on the course. Of course, they do 500 crazy laps. Uh, but I could see you doing 500 laps here, Milty.
Oh yeah, we've done 24-hour races, so we can do this, and we're planning on some more of that stuff in our not immediate future, but over time. FSB racing, endurance racing, is back, and also we have our short sprint races in Trans Am, and plus a whole slew of stuff, off-season stuff coming up. It's still got four races left here in all
Yeah,
these
this was race
series. So
17, so 3 more races remaining in Pro Cup, Milty. Points are updated. Robert Bokum with his 7th win of the season. Just Another impressive drive by him. He's a comfortable 26 points up on Mark DeSenza, 36 up on Ken Ron. But that's when the points get a little tight, Milty. 1 point separating third and fourth, Ken Ron and Steve Weber. And then boss man Jim Ray, even though might say not his best race of the season, but he moves up a position. And he's just 5 points out of fourth place. So Jim Ray looking to get maybe a podium finish here when it's all said and done with the season. That'd be a very good accomplishment for
Yeah,
basically just showing
yeah,
up and racing.
yeah. Considering he doesn't get practice and he's struggling with on short tracks due to not enough time to really work on his steering settings. Because it's obvious, you can tell that car's not turning like my car, even though we have the same team cars, and like Sam's car. So, and he's definitely got the skill to run where we were
Absolutely.
running. So, I'm gonna go down there and drag
Yeah, drag a couple.
first and second up there. And,
See if Nicole will come up and join us momentarily. She is the biggest beneficiary after this race, second place run. Uh, so just 1 point behind fifth place Jim Ray and 6 points behind fourth place Steve Weber. And we can see that third through seventh is only separated by 10 points. So still a lot of racing to be done uh, amongst the chasers. And it looks like we have successfully corralled Team Bochum back up into the booth here. As again, I will brush off Robert's chair that we keep reserved. I usually put a bucket of popcorn on there while I'm watching the race, but I'll dust it off for him.
Nicole's got a chair too. We just put a pad there, because she's he's pregos.
Milty. So Robert, if you were listening to the broadcast, the first part of that race there looked like you really wanted to get around Sam, but weren't able to. A little frustrated, maybe.
Well, no. I tell you, I told Nicole too. I was running in third gear, and I didn't even think about it because I like, even though they're the same ratios, fourth gear is so much better. So after that pit stop, I put it in fourth, and it made the world difference so I could roll through the corners. But Sam was keeping it kind of low where I was picking the throttle up, and I just couldn't get under him. So I got to the outside, and it was running real good, and Sam was running a little bit, and I knew Milt was there. And I was just afraid we was gonna make contact too early in the race, so I just backed off, let my tires cool down, and then I went with the two tires, and that made the difference right there. But great job to everybody. I mean, it was a fun race. I mean, Milt was up on the wheel. Great job, Nicole, for her recovery. Sam had some bad luck, but he definitely made me stay on my toes tonight. I was trying to keep my tire temperature down until about 20 laps to go in the run. I could feel like I could pull away, so I was just trying to be smooth and not mess up until he got his tires heated up. But I told y'all last week, you watch for the 98 when it comes to Martinsville. That's his bread and butter. So to come out with the win over him feels real good.
He was sideways, and I kept expecting that to just, I mean, especially in the sportsman race. I mean, you just couldn't hang the car out like that and expect to compete. And he was doing it lap after lap and just really wheeled that thing. Where Nicole, your race was much more tempered and just a smart race. Good move on pit road. Got me there on pit road. Worked your way up with solid run there. We were kind of hoping you guys would not have any team orders and wreck each other, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. So nice finish in second there.
Yeah, thanks, Milt. Good race, man. Yeah, I almost hit you there in pit road. I was looking at the tack, and all of a sudden I saw your bumper. But yeah, I owe all that to Ken. He helped me out in practice and got me in running pretty good there with a few tricks. And first time I've had a decent Martinsville finish ever. Good win there, Robert. I wanted to get it. I was hoping we'd have about one more lap, so I could try somewhere with Robert. But with just one lap to go, it's kind of hard to beat him.
Yeah, and getting back into the swing of things, Nicole, this is a very tough track to pick, like a comeback, we'll say in quotes. So, as opposed to, let's say, a super speedway or a larger track. So you picked a difficult track and it really paid off in the end with a great finish. So that was very impressive.
Yeah, I got my brace off on Thursday right before I left for New York, and it was kind of nice to have that off for my trip, and uh, it really helped to finally be able to feel the wheel. I haven't been able to feel it in about 5 weeks.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's a
you could see that was definitely hampering you because you weren't the same car out there previous to tonight, but you look like you're on the road back to competing for wins.
Well, thanks, Milt. Gotta try, but it's tough competition with all these pro guys and all the guys in all the other series. It's tough.
yeah. Now, since Milty did grab that podium finish, you had a little battle there with Robert as well when he got to the outside of Sam, and a little hard racing there with some of FSB's elite. That must have made you come reminisce a little back to the good old days.
Well, I was never that good back in the old days. It's just the competition level wasn't as good. So a couple times got lucky at Martinsville, but this is really a track I struggled at, and I have to give thanks to Robert and the great Slim Jim Gately. In sim racing, it's one thing when you win and when you can win. It's obviously fun. When you struggle, it's a question of what kind of character you have and how much you want to be a part of something. And this is something I really worked at with Slim Jim Gately on Sundays. Whenever he had Martinsville and Bristol up for the Cup races, those were tracks that I couldn't win at, and I won a sportsman race years ago with also the help of Ken Shea and Kevin Lewis, all these great short track drivers in this league. They give you instead of holding on to what they know, they try to share it with you, and you can't always repeat it, but yeah, I mean, I had an opportunity there because Robert was forced outside, but it was realistically, we kind of knew that that was our only chance. We wanted to make sure and not wreck him because I knew once he took that two tire stop, and we took four, and he was out front. It was pretty much academic.
Well, uh, you've been selling yourself a little short here, Milty, and I think Robert would agree with me that when it was on the track at that moment, he had his hands full.
Well, and also learning to adjust my wheel. I always make fun of my $60 wheel, but it's actually a very good wheel, and I thank Matt Watkins for selling it to me. And it's like brand new. He hardly ever used it, so it doesn't miss shifts. And um, without the profiler, I have managed to number one wait on the corners and also devise a combination of calibration and steering ratio to give me a feel like last year I ran well at Martinsville in the sportsman race with that setup, but then was junk on Wednesday. This time I had a half hour to practice, and I turned some things down, some things up, and got the car to get right back to where it felt almost the same as Monday night, except it was a little, it was faster because I was turning 26s easy, and really I don't think I turned to 26 the entire night Monday, but yet also managing the as the Giants win the World Series. T. Roy's got to be beside himself. He's watching this right now. But yeah, just being able to get to that point, and it's a struggle because all these drivers are good, but you can see, speedways is one kind of combination with your wheel and skill level, and then short tracks is another. And man, all of a sudden, short track racing gets a lot funner when you start to be competitive.
That was Very concise
Long-winded.
answer, Milty.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm sure our viewers do as well. If there's any left, uh, that actually was. I was hoping to get a comment there from Robert, but what's it like to race the old man there, Robert?
Well, I ran against him Monday night in the Sportsman, and he was right there. He Milt can say what he wants. Here's the thing: when your bread and butter is road courses, and your bread and butter is short tracks, whichever way, you don't feel like you're that competitive when you go to those tracks. But to me, they kind of go hand in hand because you got to be smooth on the throttle through the road courses. And it's pretty much the same thing here. I never even run a road course before I come to FSB, and now I feel like I'm pretty decent thanks to Milt. But no, I thought he did a great job. I mean, I was on the outside of him for felt like 100 laps. But I knew I could trust him. You gotta trust when you're driving outside. You're almost up to the guy on the inside's mercy, so you got to make sure you trust the guy who's on the inside of you. And I felt comfortable rolling to the outside of him, no problem. Same with Sam, but yeah, the last two Martinsville races, Milt's been up on the wheel, and like I said, so all that bull crap about I'm off, I'm old, I'm drunk, whatever is honking crap. Because you seen that tonight. I mean, he was turning great laps. Same with Nicole. I mean, Nicole's really stepped up her short track program when she come on the team. We worked together, got in here and worked together, and she really started picking it up. So as far as teaching her anything, I'm pretty sure she's learned all she needs now. Cause she's got it going in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. A great run by all, really the whole field. It's the couple little spins coming out. Almost every wreck was coming off a turn, getting on that gas just a little too soon, a little too hard, and with that setup, as Milty was saying, the car will come around on you if you put the power down a little too soon there. But other than that, some excellent racing, and that's what we come to expect at a Pro Cup and FSB racing. So appreciate it, guys, gals.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Uh,
Appreciate y'all do.
yeah, good,
Yeah,
good,
thanks, guys.
yeah, good seeing you back, Nicole. Hope to see you back in all the series and see if you can salvage some point finishes. And of
It's
course,
going to be
Robert,
a fat race Friday night. Homestead. It's going to be 30 cars. It's going to be good.
Yeah, before I go, I want to give a shout out to Apple Collision Center. Thank you for them, like I said, them stepping up this year and really helping our program out. Same with the pro, Johnson Trucking, Nicole Johnson there. She stepped in, took the pro cup program over. So without them, that having them kind of sponsors makes it fun for us to get out here and compete for a trophy.
Yeah, for
bragging
trophies, for
rights.
hardware. Yeah.
Like I said, we might not be able to make it Friday night. It's Halloween, and like anybody, I'm a father, so the little one comes first. So I'm really going to try to rush her through, grab the candy as quick as I can, push, go, 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 and try to make it back. If I don't, I wish my team the best of luck. I know they can hold it down, and I know Apple Collision should be just as proud on their cars as it would be mine.
Well, we'd love
Absolutely.
it if you can't make the race. If you want to get in and get on the broadcast, we would love that, your insight
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
that would
So
be a treat.
think about it.
Definitely.
If you
Yeah.
can't make the race, get in and you can
I'll
throw.
leave you a press pass down at the.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I definitely did. I told Greg in the past, I'd like to broadcast, be a broadcaster, maybe one of the rookie races or the rookie shootouts, sportsman shootout, something. I'd love to just get my prospect on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So we'll see. Yeah, and great. It should be a great race. Awesome setup by Ken Hansen, tweaking the existing setup, and
Yeah, fantastic.
we did a little test session there, Milty, and that setup was awesome at that track. I mean, you can really race side by side there, and it's an interesting track, Robert. That day to night track. The inside line always seems to call you, but the fastest way seems to be on the outside.
Yeah, we ran last night in the chicken run, and when you roll, you eventually have to let off when you're in the draft, and when you're on the inside, you can hold it down there till you get a little heat, but on the outside, you can back out a little early. You can get such a good roll as you're rolling. You can pick up that throttle and keep it from binding up, and usually you're I would say about 600 to 700 more RPMs coming off the corner on the outside, so you get that good run down through there. So It'll be a good side. I know the last few races we've had there has been side by side, 3, 4 rows deep for the last 20, 30 laps, just battling it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what we expect to
Cool.
see, and look forward to it. And hopefully you can make it there. And if not, yeah, if you can jump up in the booth, that'd be awesome. Nicole, I'm sure if you'll be able to make that race, we'll see you out there. That's a good, should be again a good field and a good challenge for anyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure what time my stuff starts on Friday, but I am hoping to be there finally for a Friday night race. With my injury, it was just too hard with all those cars. I didn't think it was fair to anyone else when I did that. You know, I just couldn't feel the car right, so I didn't want to cause any wrecks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Hmm.
hard enough to drive with any injury, and then you throw 20 plus 30, sometimes 30 cars in front of you. That can be dicey. So look forward to it, Milty. Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. FSB Racing Aero 88 Series. So we're looking forward to it. And again, Robert, congrats on the win. Nicole, great run. Milty, awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Always good to see you out there on the track and competing like that. It makes me reminisce a little back to the old days when
Glory
the
days.
zero car was the car that everyone dreaded seeing on the track. But maybe a return to glory days in the future, Milty.
Well, I
Um,
tell you, for him to be able to broadcast while he's racing, that amazes me because I listen to it, so I'm like, how in the hell is he talking going through this corner? I can't even say thank you to a guy until I get out of the straightaway. So
I'm a
that's pretty
talker.
special. Yeah.
from the guy that sends text messages on his phone as he's winning a race. So yeah,
Oh no.
come on now. Uh, we'll believe that when we see it, Robert. But we know the truth.
Well, like I said, I appreciate what y'all do, guys. Really do, man. Yeah, it really is special to come out and run and have broadcasting like this. I mean, the Apple Collision Center guys, they said it's funny because Friday night, he's like, hey, we're getting the pizza, we're going home, me and the family's gonna be hanging out watching, so it's cool for y'all to put that on. And I see T. Roy's signed on. I guess he's coming on here to brag. So
Yeah, and it's cool for us to have some regular viewers, and we're gonna keep doing it. And we got some other stuff planned, maybe some off-season stuff, maybe some iRacing stuff in the future. We're just always expanding, trying to, and of course our regular stock car stuff, and yeah, I guess it's all those years of doing, road racing, 24-hour races. You had to, especially when you were spotting for each other, you had to be able to drive and talk at the same time. It took some work, but I guess when you're half brain dead like me anyway, it helps.
Yeah, I hear you. So we'll be wrapping it up now. Again, Robert with a big win, comfortable points lead in Pro Cup. Looking forward to the Friday night race, uh, Homestead, and we'll see you then. Friday night, 9:30 p.m. FSBRacing.com. Check it out.